Go ahead.
Mayor, thank you for seeing us.
I'm glad to be here today. Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Glad to have you here today. Happy New Year.
You're starting your seventh year, is that correct, as mayor?
That is correct. Just started my 7th year as mayor.
Okay. And we just wanted to touch base with you to see what are your main priorities for the city of Elmira in 2023?
Well, obviously, we want to continue our development that's going on throughout the city. The past few years, we've had a lot of market rate housing built in the city. We've had over almost $200 million worth of development since I first took office back in 2016. We're going to continue that trend. A big help with that is LeCom Medical School. We also know there's a need for affordable housing. Right now, we currently have another affordable housing project we want to see finished in 2017. It's the Arbor project on East Church Street, not far from here from City Hall. They're working on that, so we want to proceed with that.
Who's that project? Tell me a little bit more about that.
That's the Arbor housing project. It's going to help basically people that are low to moderate income find housing here in Elmira that gives them decent housing right here in the city of Elmira.
How is that financed, that project?
That project through grant money. The state's helping with a lot of it. We also put in for another Restore New York grant for them. We're hoping to get in this next round. So it's basically a lot of grant money that they've actually helped get funding for to help that project become a reality.
Can I ask you a little bit about the grants that were discussed in the first city council meeting? There was a community redevelopment payment that was around $80,000, but it didn't quite specify what it was.
Yeah, our community development block program
The
does a
block
lot of
program.
different things. We get funding from the federal government through HUD
HUD.
each year, and it helps with different projects and people that are low to moderate income improve their housing. People that own their homes can go through this, go through our community development program to get funds to do like siding, sidewalks, new roofs, and everything like that. Other things they could not afford based on their income. So that's one of the things our community development does. And that's one thing that we vote on as a council, approving that funding.
Okay. So it's a matter of applying for it for whoever needs it. the
Exactly,
homeowners.
and people need to know that is available. They just have to call our community development department because it's sometimes underutilized. And those funds, we need to use them. So I encourage people to reach out to see if they qualify.
Okay, so they call it community development, and
Yes.
see if they qualify, and they can get.
They can get funding, yep. Based on their income, they can get 100% or they can get a high percentage of the project funded through community development.
Oh, okay. And then I saw some the lead hazard waste reduction grant.
Yes, that's a lead hazard reduction act. Here in the city, we have older housing stock, and a lot of the paint that's been used in these houses contain lead. What this does is allow the city to come in and give money to landlords or people that meet income thresholds to remove the lead. Some houses have been sided, new windows, and things like that to get the lead out of these homes because we have a problem with lead, and we have high lead levels for some of our children here that are getting tested for lead. So this is to help correct that problem.
And does that work similar to the other one, where if somebody has an issue with lead, they apply for this?
Correct.
and
They
then
call
can-
city, community development, and,
Okay.
and they'll walk them through it and get them the application and get the funding for that.
Okay. You mentioned housing. Housing seems to be a recurring priority
Yes.
in Elmira. Where does that stand, just your overall opinion, in 2023 in terms of the blight that has
We
affected Elmira?
want to improve on our housing stock, obviously. We've done some over the years. A couple of years ago, myself and a few of my staff members went up to Harvard University and applied for, and we were able to obtain a City Rise grant. And the whole goal of that grant is to improve the housing stock in your city. So what that does is allows us to do 1 and 2 family home inspections. It allows us to do things like that to help improve the housing stock in Elmira. One thing that we did do with our ARP funding, which is going to help, is we allotted up to $5,000 for each homeowner in the city of Elmira to do upgrades on their house last year, and it was very well received, and we did several $1 million worth of home improvements just on that alone. We want to continue that trend. We will work looking for grant money available for that, and so we can get our housing stock, better than what it is. I want to say this, that this housing stock has declined over many years. It's starting to come back, but it's going to take a lot of work. You can't turn the Titanic around in the bathtub, as I always say. So we're going to continue that pursuit because everybody deserves decent housing and affordable housing.
What do you see down the line? Is there more grant money in the pipeline, or what do you expect for this year?
The governor's supposed to release something regarding housing and grant funding. We're going to see how that plays out. So I met with one of her aides last week, so we're looking forward to see what that's going to contain and how we can take advantage of that to help our citizens in the housing.
Because the American Rescue Plan money, that has been utilized already.
Yep, that's already been utilized. Yep, yep.
In addition to housing, or I should say separately from housing, what other main issues does the city of Elmira face going into this new year?
Obviously, crime. We've done a lot better getting guns off the street. We've done a lot of interdiction. We've taken a community, faith-based approach with our police staff to help, you know, us reduce the crime in the city of Elmira. But it's going to continue to be a problem. One of the contributors to that is the state's no bail law. That's not helping our efforts to, reduce crime in the city of Elmira. Even though I must say, I haven't seen the numbers yet, but I'm sure the numbers of crimes and violent crimes went down the past year. So that's one thing we want to tackle. The next one, as you see, is the homelessness problem. And we're right now supporting Trinity. They just did an outpatient new facility over on Stoll Street. They renovated a building over there. And they want to do an inpatient off of East Church Street that we'd like to see become reality. We're going to support them on that. The homeless problem is very difficult to overcome for a whole host of reasons. First of all, people they have to want to have help. And I've met with these people down under the bridge and so forth, and a lot of them don't. So how do you get them into the treatment they need or help lift them up and get them to the necessary and housing that they need? So that's going to be something that we're going to continue to work on.
Is there a particular area of the city that is mostly, where the homeless population is more pronounced?
Yeah, it really is. It's over on the south side of Elmira, underneath the bridge, underneath the underpasses. They just kind of camp out in those areas.
And as far as policing, you mentioned a faith-based approach. Can you tell me a little bit more about
Yeah,
what
I know
means?
that our police chief and our officers have reached out with different faith-based leaders here in the city of Elmira. They've held workshops and so forth to try to work with the community, build trust with our police within the community. And there's other community leaders, nonprofits like Program of Peace that we work with to help work with the community to reduce crime, because it's going to take the entire city, entire community to help attack crime, not just the police.
And just the most common types of crime or most persistent crime that you're facing, what would those be? Guns or would it be?
But right now, guns is one of our big drugs, is a major issue. Just we're not different than any other community here in the country. Methamphetamine is on the rise, so that's a huge problem. So those are the major crimes that we're seeing. Then you get your other minor crimes like petty larcenies and criminal mischiefs, but the more serious crimes are the methamphetamine, drugs, fentanyl, and the gun crimes.
Mhm. I could ask you so many questions, but just to go back to housing, notice a lot of the churches in this town are magnificent structures.
Yes.
How many of them do we know are empty, or what's going to happen to all these historic buildings?
Well, there's a few of them that are vacant right now. We have one, the old Trinity Episcopal Church, that's over off of Main Street and Church Street. Someone has purchased that, and they're going to repurpose that church to make it more like a community center, athletic center. The former Baptist church, that's right across the street from that, that's been vacant for years. We've had a couple people interested in buying that from the person that owns that, so we'll have to see what happens with that church and try to maintain the integrity of the church, because like you said, they are beautiful structures.
Do you feel that you get enough support from the state, from the current governor, for, I guess, the southern tier, the larger picture?
Well, for economic development, I would say yes.
Yes.
But when it comes to crime, no, they're handcuffing us.
And you mentioned the law, the no bail.
Yeah, there's a whole host of things they did with that law. No bail, discovery laws. Now, before, when a person was arrested, he would not get the information on the people that were giving information to the police officers, okay, until it came time for trial. Now, under the new discovery law, that person gets the information up front before they even start the trial process. So what does that do? It prevents people from testifying. They're scared. They don't want retribution. So between the discovery law and the bail law, it's making our job that much more difficult here in the city to fight crime.
Okay. The police department has the funding it needs. In that
Yes,
regard?
actually we added 2 more officers. We're going to be ordering some different type of software, camera software, that's going to assist us this upcoming year in solving crimes. Our message to criminals is don't come to Elmira to do crimes, because you will go to jail and probably prison.
love to hear more about that software later on.
Yeah,
I know
as soon as we,
doing that.
yeah, as soon as we get that.
So I
get that
won't
running.
take up too much more of your time. So overall, you feel 2023, you're feeling optimistic about the
Absolutely.
continued recovery and revitalization of
Yeah,
Elmira.
I sure do. And there was a article that came out that post-pandemic that the Northeast Elmira was one of the top communities to move to after the pandemic. And we're starting to see that. I met with a person today that moved here from Oregon. So we are getting more people to move into our city as it continues to grow, as we continue to improve. Our financial situation is excellent right now. We just received a Moody's report that basically said that we've done an outstanding job getting our finances straight. And so there's a lot to look forward to in the city of Elmira in the upcoming future, for sure.
JD, you good?
No.
If I guess you one last thing.
Yeah.
In terms of the schools and the school districts, any issues there that you want to raise or that we should be looking into? How are the schools
Not
doing?
really. Actually, our schools have actually improved over the years. You still have your problems, okay? I think each school has a problem with violence and that. But I think for the most part, the educational system here in Elmira is very good. It provides a good education for students. So, but,
Well, Mayor, thank you so much. We
Yes.
look forward to highlighting and all the positive things
Thank
happening
you.
in Elmira.
I appreciate
and
your
telling
time.
stories.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.